Hello and welcome to Unit 4, Lesson 3 tutorial, and I'm going to tell you guys, actually it's Lesson 4, but I'm going to tell you guys how to construct a translation. A translation, as you guys remember, is how you slide an image over. So we're going to take this triangle and we're going to construct it. And we're going to slide it over and it'll be perfect, hopefully at the end. And just as a review, what do we use to construct a reflection? We use perpendicular lines. And then what do we use to construct a translation? We're going to be using parallel lines. And so that's what we're going to be doing a lot of. I've written the steps down here. Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to do this step by step. Step 1 is to draw a line from point A through the translation vector. This is the translation vector, and that will be given to you on your homework. So I'm going to draw a line from point A through the translation vector. So I'm going to do that in red, like that. And I can extend that as far as I want. It doesn't matter, just as long as it's going through the vector. I could have done it over here, over there. It does not matter. Second step, we're going to use our compass, which obviously you guys will have to pretend like I have one, and draw an arc through the translation vector in the line. So we're going to draw an arc through this translation vector. So I'm going to do that in a different color. And I am going to use my pencil and my compass to make an arc. We're making parallel lines, and that's the first step to making a parallel line. And then step 3, without changing the compass, we're going to draw the same arc using point A. So I'm going to put my compass point right here on point A, and I'm going to draw that same arc without changing the width of my compass. So we've already done the first 3 steps. Step 1 was to draw this line. Step 2 is to make this arc. And then step 3 is to make this arc with your compass. Step 4. With the compass, we're going to measure the distance from the vector to the line. So with my compass, I'm going to switch colors. From this point to this point, I'm going to measure that with my compass. So from between those 2 points, measure it with your compass. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put the point end of my compass here, and I'm going to measure that again. So I'm going to end up making a little arc right here, because that distance is the same as that distance. So with the compass, measure the distance between the arcs. And then step 5, without changing, so step 5 says, without changing your compass, do the same arc measure starting at the line near point A. So just like what we did right here. Then step 6 is to connect the points. So I'm going to grab a different color, and I'm going to connect point A with the place where the arcs intersected. So this point right here is what I'm going to connect point A with. And once again, ideally, if I had a compass, I'm going to just kind of fudge it a little bit. But if I had a compass, these would be perfectly parallel. So once again, I don't have a compass, so it doesn't look accurate. But hopefully you guys will be able to get it to be accurate. So we've done step 6. Step 7, with your compass, measure how long the translation vector is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how long this line is. So I'm going to go from this point to this point with my compass. And then with your compass, measure how long the translation vector is and make that same measure starting at point A. So without changing the width of my compass, I'm going to come down here to point A, and I'm going to make a little arc. And that point right there is going to end up being A prime. So now I have moved A along this line parallel to it in that distance. And so now I've got A prime. I'm going to repeat these steps. I'll go ahead and show you for B, and then I'll let you guys kind of figure out how to do it with C. So for B, I'm going to go ahead and change colors again. And I'm going to actually extend this vector. Well, I'm going to take B, and I'm going to draw a line. I got to remember that this is my translation vector. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an arc right here. So step 2, use a compass, draw an arc through the translation vector in the line we just created. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's step 2. Step 3, without changing the compass, draw the same arc using point B. Something like that. Step 4, with the compass, measure the distance from the vector to the line. So with my compass, I'm going to measure from this point to this point. So then I'm going to do step 5. Without changing a compass, do the same arc measure. I'm going to go from this point to about that point. And that is going to be the distance from this point to this point. Once again, we measured that with our compass and we drew that down here. So I'll have a little arc that I have. Step 6, connect point B with the place your arcs intersect. So I'm going to use a line to connect that. It's a little bit better this time. And then the last step, so I just did step 6. So then step 7 is with your compass, measure how long the translation vector is. So once again, with my compass, I'm going to measure how long this translation vector is. And then with my compass being at point B, I'm going to measure that same distance. And I will come up with something that's about right here. That point right there is my B prime. You do the exact same thing with the C. Make a line, do your arcs, draw it out, and that will give you your triangle as it's translated.